Welcome everybody to round 5 of ACRL season 6. We're here at a nice rainy Californian day. For those who are unaware, yes, rain is a nice day. You know, means things are probably not catching fire. Other than that, yeah, we're here at Laguna Seca. It's a nice Sunday afternoon, I suppose. We're watching drivers just go out onto track for qualifying. Everyone's out on their out lap. Joining me today is Pete. Pete is not driving today. He is feeling more... I don't know, you can describe yourself, how you're feeling. I don't want to speak for you. But yeah, welcome to the commentary booth, Pete. Nice to have you along with us here. Yeah, well, you know, sorry to hear that you hurt yourself. Hopefully you recover relatively quick. Not just for the races, but for, you know, mobility's sake. Okay, well, that's good. But yeah, here we are. We're watching Max Bernard, or I think it's Marek Bernard, drive in the Bentley. You're just starting his lap now, coming down through T1 into T2. Nice, fun complex. I've never driven here in the rain. I've only ever driven here in the dry. I've never driven ACC here, to be honest, but all the other, pretty familiar with the track. Have you tried practicing at all for this thing yet, or did your injury happen before you could practice? Oh no, okay. I can't hear you. Okay.
But I got a time in for PQ, and then the injury happened. So it was, I didn't commit too much time to it, so I wasn't really that upset. But apparently it's fixed now.
Alright, that's good. Thank you to your friend, because yeah, I had my audio mixer all fucked up. So I have that now fixed. I have the desktop audio apps actually set up properly. While we're watching on stream, we just saw Bernard make a little mistake there. Oh no, and then we just watched Max go off into the gravel. You know, it's a bit treacherous out there. It doesn't seem like it's light rain, but it seems pretty heavily.
I wouldn't want to be, well, I would have been, but I wouldn't want to be with some of the mid-engine guys going on here, because those cars like to rotate enough as it is. It would probably be a lot worse in these conditions.
Yeah, here we have Lorenzetti coming up for his first lap here.
Oh, looks like Kerbel's made a mistake.
Oh boy, uh-oh.
Yeah, it looks like he was on the inside, so it looks like he's put his loud pedal down a bit too hard coming out of the corner just after the corkscrew.
Yes. Looking at the track order right now, well, there we got some people bagging this off of the thing. Let's go through here. There we go. We have Schlager, who has yet to set his lap yet. Coming up through, lots of yellow flags being shown.
Yeah, another spinner just before the corkscrew.
Yeah, wonderful.
All the ones we've seen so far have all been coming out of the corner as well, so it's people getting their foot down too early and too hard.
Yeah, that's usually what's gonna catch you out, especially if the track's a little bit rubbered up, if at all. Not particularly great, but you know, it is what it is. Currently, Quinby's fastest by nearly almost half a second in the BMW. The Porsche right up behind. Pasi Malinen actually doing really well in that mid-engine car, putting it in on P4 right now. Schlager comes across the line, 1/10 down from Quinby. Fastest first sector, but it just doesn't have the other sectors lined up.
Like got a very nice toe off somebody to take pole.
That's
very provisional pole at least.
Provisional pole for sure, yeah. 1/10 up on Quinby. Yeah, nice middle sector there. Very, like, nearly 2/10 up on that middle sector alone, to take that position. Let's go on board with Pierre Schlager, who seems to be doing all right. He's improving his lap currently, almost a second up, and he's only halfway around the lap here. 8/10 coming into. While I'm familiar with the track, I don't know what the corner numbers are.
Hey, I don't know the numbers, but I know one particular corner name, and that's about it on this track. and that's the one that takes you down 2 stories in the space of about 2 seconds.
Let's go and look at the track map. It is T6 before going up the hill. Corkscrew 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, and A. Alright, that's... Oh, no. There we go. Saga's coming up to the line. He's got 8/10 on this lap. He's going to come across the line. And that should be provisional pole for now, and that is by 1/100th of a second. Or 1/100th of a second from Ingyan. So it looks like the Porsches are really strong out here. They're able to put the traction down to the rear, especially out of those those corners that would really require a nice dig out onto
Are these
the exit.
Porsches still rear-engined, or are they mid-engine these days?
I believe the GT3R is still rear-engined. I think the 992 is mid MR now, but
it would make sense that they're able to get the power down more easily then, since the engine's pushing the traction down on the rear axle.
yeah, exactly. And there we go, Max setting the fastest lap. That nice balance for that front rear that FR car seems to be working well into Max's favor up into P1, nearly 4/10. It's gonna be pretty tough for everyone else to match that.
Yeah, there's no mid-engine cars currently in the top 6. As I was saying earlier, it's probably going to be a struggle. They like to turn on enough on their own as it is. This weather's not going to be doing them any favours.
No, not at all. Yeah, it looks
say as Malanen goes wide. Yeah, he's given up on that lap.
Yeah, Schlager backing off on this lap as well. Looks like a few people backing off on that last lap. Schlager focusing that nice exit. Good exit, obviously, but I'm trying to hold it on. I'm looking at his TC numbers, and his TC3 and TC2 is also 3, so he's not running a whole lot of traction control either. He's still...
Well, the best traction control is your right foot, to be honest. It's just not everyone's got the same ability level. If you can do it, it works.
That's true. That is true indeed.
I tried it myself once and found out very easily that I can't do it.
Looks like we have a couple new drivers here today. I see that we have an R. Cabrera who's just gone off and crashed heavily into the barriers.
Ouch.
That's unfortunately. He's stopping on track.
Don't go to the garage, you have to make your way around.
I think his...
Oh, he's out.
Yeah, that's it. That's his qualifying. That's a shame. Well, you know, it is what it is. Sometimes you can't win them all.
I mean, if it's a new name, unless you're really good, you come into these league races with certain expectations anyway. You don't really intend to be challenging for the win in your first race. Oh, he's left the pits.
All right, well, let's... I'll see if I can do something about that.
I mean, I don't like to be a grass, but you know.
No, that's a bad...
Yep, he's re-entering the circuit. That's I don't know how far pleading ignorance of the rules is going to be.
No, and he's already off. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, he's made a mistake. He needs to get back. What's he doing?
And he's seems to be ignoring.
That's all. He's not got. Yeah, he's pulled over.
Well, we'll see. Oh my goodness, what is going on?
I tend to be quite lenient with the new people, not knowing rules, but come on. He spun coming out of the pits. He then nearly spun again, trying to get out of them. But, you know what? I'm going to come off this guy and not be... There was a BMW pointing backwards coming out of T4.
Yeah, I did see that. Earl, yeah. Unfortunately, he's having to wait for other cars to get past. Yeah, he's way off. There we go. Back onto track. Seems to be a pretty troublesome corner for a lot of people, this section here.
Well, it is quite a fast corner. And all you've got to do is flex your toe a bit too hard, and in this weather it'll send you around. Especially if you catch the curb as well. I don't know if it's just me, but I find the curbs in this sim very slippery. All you've got to do is dip one tyre and it can send you around.
Yeah, especially in the rain. Yeah, there's a lot of standing water that sits on that curb.
It's probably just me because I'm in the McLaren, which all I've got to do is look at the curb and my car's already upside down. But oh, we've got a spinner at the corkscrew. Say us.
Cabrera's off again. Alright, let's go and watch Lewis. Lewis is driving this week, which is nice to see. I don't think he was driving last week. He seems to be doing pretty well when it comes to this.
Not too much happening at the top of the minute. What I am noticing is that we've got a Ferrari 488 in the top 10, which is a rare sight. Medeiros, I reckon. I think I was racing around him in Circuit of the Americas, and he was struggling, and that was down somewhat in like the 20th position. So he's obviously found a setup that works for that car. I'm surprised not seeing too much change in position, to be honest, considering if you look at the track map, everyone's got themselves pretty well spread out.
Alright, I figured out who he was. I just now messaged him on Discord. Hopefully he listens.
Oh, is this the Porsche?
Yeah, Cabrera.
Yeah. He is still on track.
Yeah, I'll give him some time until he'll get penalized nonetheless, but at least he doesn't have to be on track to interrupt other people's drives. So currently Max on top. P1, 5 minutes left to go. He's 3/10 up from everybody else. So Rob up into P2, ahead of Schlager and Ingyang. So it looks like, yeah, no worries. Looks like the Porsche isn't as strong as we thought it was going to be, but it does look like there's a huge gaggle of BMWs from 8 down to 12. They're all very, very closely balanced from the looks of it.
Me and my friend, my teammate Jamie Clarkson, who was racing, obviously not racing today, but used to race alongside me, we do notice there seems to be a bit of German bias in the strength of GT3 cars at the minute.
Yeah, that always seems to be the case. You know,
But we have the Ferrari off just before T6.
Well, that would be Medeiros, and he's going to cancel his qualifying from there as well. Next on us was just a slow lap. It looks like he's not going on for another hard lap, quick Jeez Louise. Another quick lap here. In just the first corner there, nearly a 10th up, so you can ride on board with him to see what it looks like.
Malin just closed the gap up to Mex in second, only 400ths.
Oh wow.
He's obviously found the window for that McLaren to work well, because I certainly couldn't do it.
Well, that being said, it might be maybe there's a little bit of a dry line being formed. It's just enough for Passy to make it through. I don't know. I know Passy's finished, so you know it could be some sort of like Finnish wet weather, you know, genius sort of thing.
Would explain it. Yeah. Saying that, I don't think there should be a dry line forming because it's raining pretty hard still. It's going to be raining for the entirety of the race, isn't it? I believe. Yeah, forecast is rain continuously.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever going to stop. So it might just be that the water has come off the line a little bit. And there you go, Malin improves on his time and goes quickest overall. Wow. Well done to Malin. And he's now coming, he's going to go for another quick lap here.
Yeah, just in front of me as well is Mex, who now has he's got pretty much 2 more laps to get his banker in.
That being said, Malin already up again on this lap, so he's got his tires into an operating window that he's happy with, probably.
Never mind, Schlager just taking pole on the Porsche.
Oh wow, it's getting very spicy now.
I mean, it would make sense that people are starting to go faster towards the end of the session if a dry line is starting to appear.
Would explain it. There we go, Cabrera now in pits. Pisani, P9, Baggins, who else we got? So Schlager up on his lap time here. Let's see if he can improve. It's just barely, but every single bit works. Into corkscrew, having to avoid the car ahead. Hopefully that doesn't. It did look like it interrupted him a bit, but who knows? He might be able to pull something out in the last bit here.
Mex and Malin just crossing the line. Mex goes second. What does Malin do? He's just crossing now. Malin stays third.
What's this timing's like? Oh, Schlager nearly 3/10 up. It's a pretty hefty. Pretty hefty gap to try to get. Man, I just don't have words today.
Yeah. Mex has pulled out of his lap, so it looks like that's it. He's settling for second. Yep, he's called it.
Fair enough.
Looks like Malin's going to have one last push.
Hop on board with Malin to see if he can do anything. He's 1/10 down the sector. So he's going to have to really pull it out. Yellow flags in front of him.
That's Lorenzetti just coming out of the corkscrew, and he's gone. It'll be out the way by the time Malin gets there.
Yeah, Malinen's coming up the hill, but Malinen is 2/10 down. He is a little too slow for right now. We'll go down to Schlager, who is currently exactly the same speed same lap time he was just earlier. Decent exit onto the back onto the hill. Up the hill he goes, still matching his last lap time. Over the corkscrew, down into rainy curve. Yeah, nice and tidy, using the entire track. A little bit of Monka steer, and that's going to send him out. That does not improve, but he is starting in pole position. I don't think anyone else is going to be improving from him.
No, the only person who could challenge was Quinby, and he didn't put a fast enough time in. He's pulled over and given up.
A bunch of yellow flags. Spasani unable to improve on his lap. And that's everybody who is currently sitting in pits.
Yep, that's it.
Well, there we go. So yeah, we've got a few minutes here to relax a bit before the start of the race. Drivers can go stretch, go to the bathroom, all that type of stuff. I would recommend, Pete, that you go and relieve yourself if you need to. Grab some water or something to drink. I don't know what you eat, what you want. Get some snacks or some shit. You've got 5. Yeah.
See you shortly.
I'm going to do the same. For those who are watching, I recommend you do the same. It's going to be a very interesting T1 here.
30 seconds. 20 seconds.
I'm back.
10 seconds.
All right, and so we're back for the start of the race here. Just got back at the start of the formation lap. It's going to be a nice formation lap. There's no such thing as starting under safety car here. I'm going to find the lead car here. I'm going to do one of these. Let's go and do nice little meander around Laguna Seca here. Get ourselves these people that are always looking at me. This guy is very serious. You know, too bad none of these people have raincoats or umbrellas. This person's awfully happy to be in the rain. This guy, not so much. Not particularly happy. Neither is Charles Leclerc or the twins. That's enough looking at people here. We'll go and check out oh shoot, what the corkscrew looks like for these people, as if we were a bird. Some shenanigans going on there. Don't really need that. The office.
What did I miss?
It's just a disaster. Oh my goodness. Oh, I just wanted to see what the corkscrew was going to be like on the formation lap, and it provided just the amount of entertainment I was looking for. So here we go. Car's making it down to the final corner here. I'm gonna take a sip. That's a pretty interesting beverage. We've got some shenanigans going on over there, and we'll go over here to see where how the start of the race goes. And as they come up to the line, they should be off. Wait, here's the line. I'm stupid.
Green light. Go, go, go.
He's gonna wait until the very last moment to go. He knows that any run is always bad. A huge amount of spray going up there, and it looks like one of the Porsches is making up some positions from Rob Lewis. 3 wide through T1. Nice and gentle. Everyone's coming in through here actually pretty smoothly, which is good to see. I'm very happy to see that. Nice. Well done, everybody. Well done. Oh, we got ourselves a spin that looks like it's a Mex. I believe that's Mex, who is spun out now. And Schlager also down, apparently. Down into P9? Oh, he's down in... Oh, it's just the shenanigans going on with the crossing the line. We got Schlager, P1, Pasi Malanin, then it's Ingyun, Pirello, Quinby. Oh boy. Yeah, Malanin, give me a good one. Yeah, Ingyun, Pirello, Quinby, Gorzelik, Lewis. Lewis, I think, losing a couple places there for the start of the race. Medeiros, P8. Highest rated or highest driving Ferrari at the moment. Everyone else from Germany.
I'm just trying to get a clip of what happened at the start of the back there. Looks like someone got binned straight. Oh god, yeah, okay, that was interesting.
All right, I'll have
Give me
to.
10 seconds. I'll be able to get a replay for you.
Yeah, sounds good. Ingyan making a little bit of a mistake.
Yeah, I'm ready for replay if you want to jump onto me.
Just one moment, I'm watching a battle here between Pirello and Ingyan. Pirello putting a lot of pressure on that Porsche. The Porsche just getting enough drive out of the exit to carry it on. Let's go and look here. Let's see how... shoot. Alright. Let's see what you got.
Yeah, I don't know exactly who it was, but it looked like this Lamborghini got an insane run out and then just decided not to turn left at the kink and decided to take half, well, not half the field, but cause a nice backup at the rear of the train and tags the Bentley for good luck.
Wow, it's definitely interesting. Ingyan makes a mistake through turn 6? 6. And he loses 2 positions. Pirello, and he's getting squeezed, and there we go.
Oh.
A nice love tap into Quinby, and Quinby off track, unfortunately. Quinby having to make it back onto track. Drive the long way around. Oh, there's a bit of a spin from one of the McLarens from behind. Right at the bottom of the hill. He's going to have to back up out of it. Very smart to do that. Oh, and he's... No! 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 Lorenzetti! No! Buddy, what the hell have you done? And he's collected so many cars behind. Oh my goodness gracious. There we go. Seuss, unlucky in that. Oh, now he has to start from the back.
That's just Sim Racing 101 though, you don't pull out on a 90-degree angle into the track. I don't know what was going through his head.
I don't know either. He's Bootsma driving up the hill here. Gotten passed by Mex, I believe. Mex having to do a recovery drive at the moment. Up ahead we've got Kerbal, who's made his way up into P18 and he's putting pressure on Thompson. Petrushka, P16, Medina, P15, Shepard up into P14. I have no idea where he qualified. If you're willing to, if you'd like to check that.
Shepard, I'll find out for you. He started 20th.
20th.
We have a... Oh, I think that's Thompson spinning out.
Well, that is Thompson who has spun out. Kerbal's made his way past. Has there been contact? Who knows? But we got Shepard on the back of Nils here. Or Nils on the back of Hugh here. Let's see if that causes anything. Oh, did he spin himself out?
Yeah, he just put his loud pedal down too hard.
Yeah, okay, that's an unfortunate spin. Not really much to look at, so we won't look at the replays there for the broadcast. We'll just watch this battle here. Hugh, very smooth in the driver, so he should be well placed to drive here in the rain. He's not very prone to making mistakes. So he's done himself well to get himself up into P13.
Yeah, he's up 5 positions so far, I believe.
Well done. We'll move up the hill here. We've got we've got Ingyan and Gorzulik. Line astern right behind Lewis. Lewis kind of holding them up. Pirello and Malinin are gapping away from everyone else at the moment. I'm getting messaged on Discord. I don't know if this is something I should be concerned about, what I should be concerned about.
So the top 3 are just absolutely gapping the rest of the field a minute. That or the Rob Lewis is doing his best Alonso impression and creating the train.
Yeah, he's doing a very good job with it.
But it's not his problem, it's everyone else's to get past him. Looks like Gorslick was maybe thinking about it. But he just tagged him.
Oh yeah, there we go. And we were watching that, unfortunately, and that's Lewis off into the gravel. Hopefully Lewis can make his way out of that gravel. Yeah, and he's got on his way. He's trundling down onto the big straight, and he's going to lose out positions to both Hugh and Nils. Nils putting a whole load of pressure on Hugh, and Hugh is just not cracking, just happy to keep going. You can see that there's a bit of a line being put through the like underneath the water. There's a bit of a dry line going on, so there are some treacherous parts of the track. Spray is not great. Let's see what it looks like through the... Oh, come on, driver's eye. Oh, this is not driver's eye. There we go. The driver's eye. Yeah, it's pretty tough to see through the rain, but just enough. Down into T2 they go.
Now that Rob Lewis has been cleared, it does seem like it's just the top 3 being that much faster than everyone else. I know it's only been 1 lap, but Nguyen hasn't really made any much progress in the way of catching. In fact, I think he's actually lost time since he tagged Lewis.
Yeah, Schlager is pretty much uncontested. He is about 3 seconds ahead of Malanen, who is also about 2 seconds ahead of Ferrello. They're just driving their own race at the moment. Doesn't look like they're doing too much. Young gapping, Gorzlik behind, Gorzlik playing rear gunner from the looks of it, protecting him from Lop and Quinby in the BMWs. Go down the field here, and it looks like Hugh has gapped Nils. Nils may have made a mistake somewhere. Nils about half a second down on that last lap, and Hugh 3/10 up, so it definitely looks that way. Shepard's gonna move across to the side, let Lewis through. Oh no! No! Nils is gonna extend that inside line. I guess he got caught on the wet line there and just went deep into the corner. Lewis made his way past. A bit of drama behind, but you know, hopefully it doesn't continue on. Lewis now safely away. Petrushka and Mex right behind the two. Oh, Lewis has made a bit of a mistake coming out of the corner, so they're two side by side. 4 cars all battling for the same position. Mex wanting to make his way back up into the leading spot. He did qualify very well, and as I understand, the Mercedes was pretty good through the stint. Now they're behind Nils. This battle's not doing anybody any favors. Hugh has now a 3-second gap because of this, and he can start putting the pressure onto Trafilio and Praner up ahead.
Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on Mex. I don't know if it's a combination of the narrowish track and just the weather, but he seems to be struggling to make his places back up. But it has only been 3 laps or so since his accident, so it could just be biding his time. But if he wants to be getting points, he needs to be putting his foot down sooner rather than later.
Yeah. Lewis, great drive out of that corner. It's just not enough to catch up to Nils. Pretty much in the same car, as I understand it. One's just got sharper angles. Just diving deep.
Looks like Phil Thompson's had another unfortunate error coming out of the, is it rain corner? Oh no, the second to last corner, sorry. He's gathered himself and got back on the circuit. The top 3 are just completely pulling away from everyone else. They've put about 1.5 seconds on Gorzalik in the space of 2 laps.
Max has made his way past Petrushka. I don't know if Petrushka had a mistake there. Max going a little deep through the course through making a mistake. Lewis putting a lot of pressure on Nils here. Around the inside of Rainy Corner. Now he's going to have to go around the outside. Nils really slow. Now he's on the outside through the last turn. I think this is turn 13 here. Side by side. Lewis does a wide line.
He needed to play that smarter. He needed to make sure he got a good run out, but now he's just too far back to get any sort of tow.
It's not. He's going to get a tow, but unfortunately not enough.
No.
It's really treacherous to try breaking deep into the corner, and he does it again. He's out on the wet again. It's not good for his attempts
I think
here.
he's he just made a mistake. I think Rob Lewis has had a bit of the red mist from the accident earlier. He needs to calm himself down a bit because he's overdriving the car at the minute.
Yeah, like Nils is also overdriving the car. They're both kind of on the ragged edge. Just neither of them is really settling down, getting the rhythm in, and making a proper overtake. Young down into 10th place. I assume he's made a mistake somewhere, and he's
I'll
lost.
have a look for you.
Gorzelik under pressure from Lop, who is Quinby is just behind him. Pirello 3 seconds, Malinin 3 seconds, and Schlager just cruising nicely, setting the fastest lap a couple laps ago here. Setting a very consistent time, 1:31.2 that lap. It's gapping slightly ahead of Malinin, 31.4, who's also Pirello doing 31.4. Gozley coming across the line, dragging along with him. Lop 33.5, 32.1, 31.5. So it looks like all the cars are getting closer and closer together from that 4th, 5th, and 6th. Sani a bit behind, driving his own race, but that's a pretty healthy spot to go. Oh, hold on, it looks like you found the clip there.
Yeah, he just ran himself wide, or went too hard into the corkscrew. Nothing worth showing really. Just outbraked himself, and he paid the price for it.
Yeah, nothing too exciting from the looks of it.
No.
Trafilio on the back of Medeiros, 2 mid-engine cars here. One with a... Does the McLaren have a rear camera yet? It does, okay. Last time I remember driving the car, it didn't have a rear camera. That would have been a year or two ago now, so maybe even longer. It's been a while since I've driven an ACC. Five battles going on now. Max behind Lewis, 2/10. Petrushka, Lorenzetti, Butzman, Medina. Close to each other.
Seems to have separated itself out quite early this race. Normally you're not this separated 15 minutes in.
Yeah.
That's probably just the weather taking part.
Yeah. There we go. Medina up on the inside. Butzman. Oh, come on. Get out of the way. Butzman driving very defensively. At least defensively in a way that he's going to survive. And Medina makes his way past Butzman. Butzman just trying to live. That's a good strategy. It seems to be working well for a lot of drivers. Hugh Messenger, one of them. Nils going out wide into T2 there. Lewis has made his way back up towards Nils and is going to make another attempt. Up ahead, we've got Medeiros and Hugh. Hugh all over the back of Medeiros. Giving Medeiros a bit of, hey, I'm here, hurry up. Getting caught by Nils. I don't want to go through this fight again. Wrong way, there we go. Lewis up on the inside.
Oh, just watching
yeah,
Hugh have a backwards facing Porsche there.
Oh yeah, that's Ingyan. And there we go, Lewis and Shepard side by side. Lewis a bit deep into the corner and bumps Nils out of the way. Max is gonna make up a place from that. Max should be okay. He shouldn't have too much issues walking away from Nils as long as he keeps it nice and tidy. Let's go and check up ahead to see what Hugh is up to. Hugh up to P10 now.
Medeiros goes round.
Medeiros goes round, so Messenger up into P10. I meant to say 11, but he's up into 10. And he's leading away from Lewis. Let's see what we got here. Trafilio doing 33.6 the last lap. Hugh doing a 33.1, so he's gaining up on Trafilio up ahead as well. Let's see. Pranner 35.3, 33.9. Hugh a 35.2, but he had to watch out for that for both of Porsche and Medeiros there, so he's backed off a bit. Hugh doing an incredible drive. Oh, and a bit as I speak that he does a little bit of a wide line, but not as wide as Rob Lewis behind.
I mean, while I'm happy for him because Hugh Messenger's a nice guy, it's just a bit hard for me to watch because he's kind of who I'm up against in this championship position-wise at the minute.
Oh no!
So seeing him do well whilst I'm getting nothing is it's not great.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. Like, for me, like he's been my teammate in endurance racing for a long time now. So all I can ever do is root for him. So he's my favorite driver on the grid at the moment. So
He's
Hope-
definitely a fun guy to race. He finds a way to make a car that's 1 car width wide, 7 car widths wide.
Yeah, he's pretty tough to overtake. Like he's got his places where you can work on him. Like I mean, like if you know how he drives, he's a very distinct driving style. So focusing a specific way to drive. But I'm not going to release the secrets. You have to learn.
Feel free.
No, I know that's my secret.
It's not even necessarily just his driving as well. It's the car he's in. The Aston Martin's got so much top end.
Yeah, that thing is fast.
When I'm in the McLaren and I was trying to get him down the Circuit of the Americas, I literally couldn't do anything because I come out of the corner, literally sniffing his rear bumper, and even in the draft, by the end of that long straight, he was 4 or 5 car widths ahead of me.
Yeah, he does have that. Has that advantage. He does like his fast cars.
Looks like the top 3 are starting to just come through lap traffic now.
Oh my goodness, did I mess it up? I did, didn't I? Oh, sorry. You were saying the top cars going through lap traffic? That they are indeed. Obviously a very big skill difference between the top part of the grid and the bottom part of the grid. Schlager doesn't seem to have lost too much time. If anything, he's still gapping Malin in behind. Now nearly 4 seconds here. Does look like the lap times are starting to drop off a bit. I assume that's a bit of tire degradation through the lap.
This is going to be interesting soon because if Rob Lewis and Mex want to make their points back up, the person they've got to get past is Hugh Messenger, which we were just saying isn't an easy task.
We have Lop and Quinby. Half a second between each other. Over the line. Down through T1. Into T2. And they're just holding line astern, keeping it nice and tight through that corner. Trying to stay on that dry line. Pisani still up in 7th. Branner. I assume they're teammates. Under pressure from Trafilio. Messenger. He's starting to lose a bit of time. Maybe he knows that Lewis and Mex are right behind him. He'll be doing a bit more defending. There's a lot of defending to do for the position. I don't know. I feel I was Hugh in this position. I think. Oh my goodness! What was?
I was just watching it. It's a bit unfortunate, but spare me a second. I think it was.
Oh wow! And sorry, just as I was saying that, I looked away. Messenger has let Lewis and Mex both by in one corner. And I was just about to say before I got distracted that if I was in Hugh's position, I would let the two of them pass. There's no sense in battling them for the next, I don't know how many minutes left there is of the race. I'll have to.
You need to know who your race is against, and if you're just going to be holding people up and holding yourself up defending, there's no point really. I have just been watching something happened about 1 lap ago where F. Baggins in the Audi, in the second class corner, spun off, recovered himself well, just was about to pull back on the circuit, and then Thompson makes the exact same mistake and just spears right into the back of him and sends him backwards again. Luckily no one else got collected. Can't tell if there's any damage to the cars though. Replaced all that.
My broke the game.
Looks like both managed to keep going, so it seems they're okay. Yeah, Aston's looking like it's had better days.
Alright, well, I broke the stream for everybody, so,
Oh, what have you done?
no, nothing good. It's okay, you know, it'll be fine. Probably. I don't know. I don't. Whatever. It doesn't look great. I kind of like made it. There's like a black screen around the thing. Whatever. You know. Sue me. Now that I'm less distracted again, let's go and see what's going on here. You want to? So what were you looking at? You had that replay there, bit of the.
I've lost it now. It was a few laps ago. But basically, it looks like Goslick's just gone round.
Indeed, I did see that.
Yeah, it was just an incident that happened to the back of the circuit between Baggins and Thompson.
Yeah, someone had someone went off track, and then someone else went off track and rear-ended them, right?
Yeah, it was Baggins who basically the corner after Rainy Curve just lost his back end, recovered himself nicely, was about to pull back onto the circuit, and then got spearheaded by Thompson and sent backwards again.
Oh no. Goslick's not going to be too happy about that. Down into P6 now. I think he was running a cool 4th, and he's got himself up in traffic here. Quimby up ahead is kind of going to be defending him from him, and then there's lap traffic behind who wants to kind of like they might be fast enough to keep up with them. We'll see how the whole pit stop strategy works. I assume it's going to be right at the halfway mark that people are going to want to come into pit. I don't know what.
It does seem to be the pretty easy strat, to be fair. It keeps your tyre wear even, so you know how your car's going to feel.
Yeah. Yeah, Goslick, big run onto Quimby here. He's kind of jinking left, jinking right, trying to see if he can make Quimby pick a side. Quimby's going to hold that middle of that line there and goes wide through the corner. The T2 side by side. Quimby does not make the corner, does not hold him back. And Goslick makes a way past pretty easily, actually.
Fair play to Goslick, but he needs to be very careful doing that, especially in this weather. If you try and juke around too much, you're going to send the back end spinning at some point. You need to keep the car planted and stable.
Yeah, I think he was just looking like just to the left, just to the right to try to make Quimby go to either side. And Quimby did the right thing to hold off that middle line, but I think Quimby forgot where his brake point was and went a little bit deep into the corner. And with that, Goslick just went, okay, thank you, it's an open spot for me. If gap car, let's go. Slamming the curb on the inside there, but and then Quimby's got a huge run, did a very good exit out of there, and they're side by side going into the corkscrew. I think Goslick's gonna come out ahead. Yeah, there he does.
Especially in this weather, that rise just coming into the corkscrew is not where you want to be trying to outbrake somebody in this weather, just because of the weight you lose. It's going to really unsettle the car.
Yeah,
if you're good enough, you can pull it off, but like you were saying earlier, we've got quite trying to think of a nice way of putting it, a drift in talent. Got a spin at T1. Was that Thompson again?
I don't see anybody spun at T1
So
here.
we just may having issues. I don't see Thompson in the scoring. I think we've lost him.
That'd be a shame. He hasn't had a great season, unfortunately, getting caught up in a lot of unfortunate incidents. Most of them not even his own fault. At the start of the season, I think the first couple races he had pretty rough, but the last few, it wasn't even, I don't think they've ever been his fault in the last couple races, which is a shame. It always sucks that every race you do, there's some issue happens. It can be pretty demoralizing. But it's good to see that he's starting every race still, and he's still applying himself, so hopefully he can get back out to track soon. Max on the back of Franer here, who's behind Trafilio. They're all fighting for position here. This is for P8 currently. Messenger is still holding that P12 after letting Max and Lewis through. He's still holding that position. He's got Medeiros right behind him by a second, but I don't think that he's going to have that much of a chance. 3 down through corkscrew into Rainy Curve.
Filio had a slight moment there. I don't know whether it's just the weight shift going down the hill, but he got slightly sideways coming out of the corkscrew, and it could have given a chance for Franer to get a run in, but it doesn't seem like he managed to make his back end stick down enough either anyway. As both of them run wide after the last corner.
Yeah, and that gives Lewis who's been biding his time behind. A nice run. He's making his way past both of, no, just past Max, which unfortunately is still overdriving a bit. A little bit of lock up in that front left from Lewis. I could see that wheel kind of stalling a bit. That's given a bit of a gap for Trafilio there.
With Max at the front, it does look like
Oh no, Max.
Pirello is now starting to put a bit of pressure on Malin, and he's getting much closer than he was.
No, that's good to see. Max unfortunately makes a mistake, and he's got to send him back closer to Messenger. Messenger who's gapped Medeiros a bit. Inyan running P14. Lorenzetti and Bootsma. There we go, there's Pirello. Only 7/10 behind Malin. Both of them have now gapped Schlager by nearly 10 seconds. Or Schlager has gapped them by about 10 seconds now. Schlager doing a very good job keeping his car on track. Both taking a different line through that corner there. Do a nice chopper cam here and see what it looks like from a bird's eye view. Really does look.
Pirello's pulled in 3/10 just in the last lap alone.
Yeah, that's good to see.
As Malin runs wide.
Oh yeah.
He takes it.
Yeah, and Pirello's gonna drive away with that. Thank you very much, Malin. That makes my life easy. And off he goes. No reason to have to drive too hard. White flag being shown. I don't know why there's a white flag being shown on the side of the road there. Schlager cruising away into T1 all by himself. Oh, that's the last corner. Sorry, it's P13. Yellow flag up into in T2. Yellow flag at the corner of T6 here. Let's see if they can get onto track without causing too much of an incident. There we go, nice and calmly back onto track. No incident needed. Messenger P11 currently. Does that mean someone has had it off? Lewis, Trafilio, Max. There was someone between them. Did they come into pits, maybe?
Only one person's made a pit so far, and that's Prainer.
Yeah, okay, I think that's it. As Prainer was driving with
Yeah, I think it's just the natural order of things settling back down after mistakes are being resolved and things like that. Do have some people starting to make the first pits now, though. Interesting, I've just watched Cabrera come out of the pits, and yet his mandatory pit tally hasn't decreased, so has he forgotten to put some tyres and fuel in, or...?
I don't know. Maybe he was serving a penalty and we didn't see that?
Yeah, potentially.
Anyways, the front runners are still driving around on track. Yellow flag, middle of the corner, car 551. Oh, and he's retired. There's so much going on.
Oh, Audi needs to be careful.
Yeah,
Oh.
the Visor doing donuts. Not a particularly great place to do it, but he's doing donuts. And that gives P18 to ACRL. The Visor's gonna have to let Gorzelik by. ACRL's gonna have to do the same. Gorzelik up on the inside. Earl doing a very good job keeping it on that, but he's going to lose the position to Weisner. Particularly, you know.
Baggins is not having a great time, he's just made another mistake, unfortunately.
It looks like the concentration is starting to wane for a lot of the drivers here. It's a bit treacherous in these conditions to lose a bit of concentration.
Yeah, it's what I was saying earlier. All he's done is get one tyre onto the curb. It's just sent him round.
Yeah, there we go. And Max is battling Lewis right now. Max has made his way past Lewis. Lewis not contesting too much for the position. Maybe he's going to use try to see if he can use Max to get past Trafilio. Trafilio driving along nicely. He's a couple seconds up ahead of Max.
Mex as well just dipped his tyres onto the, I'll say grass, the sand there, and nearly got pulled out. We managed to save it.
Yeah, he's he's really pushing it. That's for sure. Yeah, it really sucks for these faster guys when they get locked down into the lower places. They can't do the laps that they want to do. They get frustrated, and when they have the track to make up that time, they push a little too hard, maybe.
Just to counter though, it's all stuff that's been done through their own doing though, so they've only got themselves to blame.
Yeah,
they can't be pulling the slower guys card when it's themselves who put themselves there in the first place.
Well, exactly, and that's where that frustration comes in. You know, you're frustrated at yourself. You're pushing harder to make up the time, especially when you have a clear track ahead of you. And you push a little too hard, and then off to go into the grass, and then you hurt yourself more. So you push harder for the next lap because you need to make up that time, and then you know it's just a compounding snowball. And that's what separates the good drivers from the great. So not so much, you know, how fast you can go, but, you know, that you can stay fast even while under extreme pressures like that. You know, you're always your own worst enemy. I know that I am. You know, that's my biggest rival is my own frustration. Second only to my idiocy, but that's a completely different topic to be discussing. Trafilio driving nicely. He hasn't really put any. Well, everyone's kind of made mistakes here and there. It is a pretty tough race at the moment, but he hasn't done too bad. He's held himself up into P8. Cruising along nicely. He hasn't come under too much pressure from Max and Lewis as they keep kind of squeezing themselves off. Lewis is backed off from Max. Max really putting no pressure on. A bit deep in through the corkscrew. A little too deep, and there we go. It's just loses some time again to Trafilio.
I think if most people are working on the halfway strategy for pits, we're going to see people coming in the next 2 to 3 laps potentially. Although I have found, when I've been racing anyway, the guys at the front do tend to push their first stint just out a little bit longer. I don't know whether they can run a lighter car for the second stint and push, but
I tend
to go for halfway, and they always seem to pit after me.
Yeah, I would assume so. I think usually, like, from my perspective, it's sort of like hey, I know how this tire is reacting. I'm going to want to make sure that I have some tire extra for a push at the end if I need to. Well, you're going to be dealing with a lot more traffic, so maybe, you know, if you don't have a whole lot of traffic to deal with at the moment, then there's no reason to just take it a little bit slower. You're in the groove. You know, you don't have to worry so much. And of course, like, especially at a difficult race like this, the more tire that you have at the end of the race, probably going to be a little bit easier to manage, especially when you're tired at the end of this sort of event. I don't know, I always prefer to drive as long as I possibly can. At least in endurance races, it's sort of just like fuel save, drive slow, make that tire and that fuel last as much as possible. I know there's not a whole lot of fuel saving in this series, but
Key Messengers just ran wide, and Medeiros has used that for a chance to get alongside him going into the corkscrew, and he's made it work.
Yeah. And Ingen behind Messenger. Ingen's gonna have to make a pass around Messenger. Messenger's got that big drive around out of the exits, and the Porsche's a bit slower, but we'll see. The Porsche's better out of the exits, but it may not be enough to pass him down the big straight here. We'll see if Ingen can make a good attempt here. Just does not have the exits. He nice and smooth on the throttle. I did see.
To keep cars behind him.
There's some blue flag shenanigans up in front. Max putting a lot of pressure on Trafilio, making a fake lunge on the inside there. We've got a yellow flag. Darius, who's lost position. So Yu is back into P10, I believe. Yeah, and that's In Young up in P9. Made his way past Hugh. We missed that overtake. We've been watching this Trifilio Mex battle going on. So In Young at P9, Hugh P10. Trifilio still driving nicely. He's going to get a little bit wide. Max bleeds out of the throttle, a little bit scared. Side by side, up towards the corkscrew. Who's gonna make it through the corner here? Max really deep on the brakes. Sticks it out in front. Yeah, there you go. And Max, go.
Unfortunately, it was Hugh Messenger running wide out the corner and actually tagged the Ferrari coming out of the exit of T2.
Oh no.
And Nguyen just used that as a free opportunity to get past. I'll set up a camera if you wish to put that for a replay.
Yeah, sure. Let me go and find who I'm looking for here.
We are at the halfway mark, still a way to go.
It looks like the Ferrari just ran way too wide out on corner entry, and as he came back around, I don't think he realised that Messenger was already there, and he just got turned.
Alright, yeah, I'm ready. I'm watching here.
Yeah, sure. So you can see here that Messenger's way behind, and the Ferrari just runs out. I don't know if he intended to cut back in, but as he brought it back in on the exit of the corner, I don't think he knew that Messenger was right alongside him, and he just got sent round.
Oh, that's unfortunate, yeah.
I'm not really sure who I'd pin that on, really. Messenger was alongside, but at the same time, you need to be a bit respectful of giving people room. I'd say racing instant there.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
It'll be up to the stewards to decide. Obviously we'll have to talk to the stewards, and the stewards will decide, and I'll put the judgment in. I don't really make the final call. I only essentially just make sure that everyone's in agreement before we send the penalty in. So
yeah. I'm also watching that something's happened because Messenger's got back past Nguyen for 9th position.
You didn't make a mistake somewhere?
I'll have a look for you.
Messenger off into pits.
Yeah, Nguyen just let Messenger pass, so I'm not sure exactly what happened there.
Interesting. Past Malaman coming out of pits.
Flagger into the pits. Looks like Pirello's staying out for another lap.
Lewis still out. Kozlik still out. Doesn't look like there's many people side by side at the moment. Max kind of having a little bit of a scruffy corkscrew there.
Yeah, I think the pit stops has spread the field out a touch.
Alright, here comes Max into pits. Nils has done his pits already. He's going to start driving around. Ingen staying out for another lap.
Not sure what happened there, but Schlager came to a stop on pit exit.
Interesting.
He left just after he would have pushed his pit limiter button to come out. He just dumped on the brakes instead. and he's lost positions because of it. I think after everything's resolved, Malin should be in the lead.
Yeah, Malin is in the lead. Malin's already out of pits. And that's Schlager's 11 seconds behind Malin on that.
It's like Trafilo just had another issue coming out of the final corner. He's not having a good race.
It's P13 at the moment. And he'll get P12 back from Messenger. I thought Messenger had come into pits already.
Yeah, it's not showing it as complete for me either.
Hanging out in pits.
Six is complaining of some game issues. I guess I'm out. For some reason my pit team won't change my tyres.
Seems to be, that might be the problem that some people are experiencing. Some sort of bug that's making it they can't change tires, or... It's Pirello, who went late into the pits, is ahead of Malin. Oh yeah, still ahead of Malin. Schlager quite a bit behind, lost his huge advantage. He must have had some sort of bad pit stop or something? I have no idea.
It's only now into the pit, so the natural order should be restored. I'm not sure what happened with Schlager, because when I caught him he only stopped for a moment, like literally seconds, but yet from the pits he's managed to go from 10 seconds in the lead to 10 seconds behind the lead.
We'll have to ask him later. I guess moving out of the way for a little. Not a whole lot of battles going on at the moment. Carbo behind me, Medina, Bitsma. Bitsma seems to be having the same problem. He's just not getting his tires changed properly. Yeah, everyone's all spread out. It's a game of survival now.
There's a bit of a train happening for there's a back marker causing it, but just coming out of a rainy curve there's a train of 4 cars. About the closest we're going to get to some action for the near future.
Yeah, I'm watching Quinby here, who's half a second and a half behind Korzalik.
Excuse me.
You are
Yeah, it's still showing messenger for me, who was in the top 10, as having not completed his mandatory pit stop. So it'll be an unfortunate way to lose it. Not unfortunate for me, but unfortunate for him.
Oh, that's Korzalik who spun out in front of Quinby. Korzalik's gonna have to go. He's pace on. It's unfortunate. I think he hit the exit curve and got a little bit loose.
Lager's not really doing much to close the gap at the minute. I don't know if that's just because his car's a bit heavy with fuel after the pit stop, but he's not catching at the rate he was leaving everyone behind earlier.
Yeah, and Malin has made up his time to work for Pirello there. He's just a second behind now. Coming over the start-finish line. 30 minutes left. Well, 27 minutes. 27 minutes left to go. There we go. 27 minutes.
You okay?
No. 27 minutes left to go. Passing Malin in 1 second behind. Van Dorp, P22, stop and go penalty for 30 seconds. I assume that's speeding in pit lane or...
Yeah, I caught it just then it was speeding.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Van Dorp. Unfortunately, he hasn't had a great season this time. His last season was pretty good, but this year not so, not as much. The Porsche suits him a little bit better. Schlager finally starting to dig into the corners a bit. Now only 9.5 seconds behind, so he's finding a little bit of time, but I don't know, it might not be enough time in 26 minutes. Schlager has to do a lot of driving to make it up.
The only way that could really work out for him now is to hope that Malin and Pirello start to battle a bit and hold each other up.
Yeah.
I think that's his only way of really getting back into this now.
That's pretty much it. Malin's probably thirsty for a win. He's gotten a podium this season already, and he knows he can probably get this win. He knows he's matched for Pirello. Hell, Malin I think started what, P2, so he knows he has the pace. He just needs to keep it cool, keep it tidy.
Malin started P3.
No, P3. And Pirello, yes. P2?
Mex was P2, Pirello started P7.
So Malin
has fallen back a little bit now. Lost about half a second in the last lap or so.
Yeah, he had a pretty scruffy last lap, but I think that should be okay. I think Malin should be able to make his way up. I really hope so. Maybe make this race a little bit more interesting for sure.
Yeah, it's been a bit stale this one, unfortunately.
There we go. Lewis, Max battling it out again. Lewis just not having a good time into T1 or T2. It's just all over the place, it seems.
Yeah, Malin's still losing time. He's down to only 2 seconds when he had about 2 laps ago. He's within 1 second. And Schlager's not going to be happy about that because, like we said earlier, whilst he is catching, he needs them two to be fighting to have any sort of chance.
Here we watch Trafilio and Inyan. Ewan? Jeez.
Medeiros is down 23rd now. 23rd, I'll try that again. 21st. He must have had a mistake because he's already done his mandatory pit and yet he's back in. So either he's given up or he's had a mistake that he's got to repair. Which is unfortunate because wasn't he running in the top 10 earlier alongside Messenger? I guess it was him who had the contact with Messenger coming out T1.
Right. Yeah, that's sort of how it was. Oh my goodness, this whole time we've been watching you.
Really?
Yeah, I've been flicking through the cameras and doing all sorts of gooberage and... Oh man. Well, like I said, I don't get paid. So people who can't complain about my quality of my streams. Slugger's making small inroads on Malanin here. Not on Pirello, but Malanin for sure.
Malin is also slowly bringing that gap down though, but there's no point bringing the gap down if you're just going to lose it again 2 laps later. But yeah, at this rate, Schlager is not going to catch them too.
It's closing down.
No, it doesn't seem like it's enough. I think it's about half a second a lap that he's doing. That's just not enough. Malanin within 1.5 seconds again. There is lap traffic up ahead, so we'll see how it all works out here.
I think, if you don't mind, whilst there's a short lull in the action, I'm going to take 2 seconds to fill up my water.
Yep, be my guest. Malanin up into P, well, still up in P2, but still 1 second behind Pirello. Traffic worked out for Malanin a bit there. Schlager also making up some time in that last lap. Nearly a second. There's Isle up ahead. Let's see if he can get out of the way. Been shown the blue flags, yeah, it keeps it out of the way there. Looks like he might get in the way for Malanin here. Malanin keeping it on the dry side. Yeah, there we go. Not great, not the worst thing. He's matching almost exactly Pirello's times up ahead. 32.54, 32.54. That Schlager comes around the corner, 31.3. He is a full second faster now. But he needs to put the pedal to the metal to make up the time. He needs a lot more of those kinds of laps. Pirello keeping it nice and tidy. Currently setting his fastest for sector 1.
I'm back. Did I miss anything?
A little bit of traffic. Schlager is setting fast laps now. Malanin and Pirello keeping about the equal distance as before. And Malanin just coming into the corner a bit, into corkscrew a bit too quick, and losing about half a second there. Schlager, yeah, up 5 seconds. He's setting about a second a lap faster now. The last lap was 1.3 seconds faster than the guys ahead. So he seems to be finding his pace. It could have been that he was just kind of out of the groove a bit here. Coming into the final corner. He's making his way through traffic nice and tidy as well, so seems to be alright. Pirello 32, Malanin 33, Schlager a 32. Let's see, Pirello did a 31.7 actually last lap, my mistake. Malinin did a 32.2, and Schlager did a 31.9. So he's not gaining too much on Pirello up ahead, but he is gaining on Malinin. He is up quite a bit this lap. Let's see if he can keep his speed up for this lap here. Let's go through the field and see what else is going on. We get ourselves Lewis and Gorzulik. Lewis weaving all over the place. Who knows why he's doing that? Gorzulik set a 144, so it looks like he's made a mistake somewhere.
Yeah, I caught the back end of it. He basically just lost the rear coming out of a rainy corner.
Oh no. Messenger P10 still has that bug. Trafilio and oh man, Enyon. I'm gonna say his name different every single time. It's not Inyan. It's Nguyen. I'm sorry. I'm not very smart. I'm North American, what can I say?
Easy excuse.
Yeah.
Schlager's definitely strapped a pair of rocket to his feet because he's pulled in about 3 seconds in the last few minutes. That's all Pirello and Malinin have had some bad traffic.
Yeah.
Which I can't see happening on the map. Well, there's now no traffic between P1 and P3. I mean, we doubted him, but he'll be able to see them now on the long straights.
Yeah, that's true. Schlager has been doing really quick laps. Pirello 32 flat, Malinin 31.6, and Schlager 31 flat. So he is scooting. He's moving, he's scooting, and ooh, he's getting a little fishy through that corner there. That's not going to do very well for his chances there. He lost, I think, nearly 4/10 in that corner alone, just from that wiggle. Not great to see, but you know, sometimes you just gotta keep it smooth. You know, smooth is fast, and we need fast right now, as crew chief would say. Most people are just keeping it safe at this point. Max obviously trying to put on pressure as much as he can. See Gorzulik right behind Lewis. Lewis was weaving a couple laps ago, not sure why. Sani up into P6 now. It's quite an improvement from his qualifying position.
Lag lost a bit of time there, having to take a unfavourable entry into a corner when Baggins was facing the wrong way.
No.
Coming into it.
That's not
Yeah,
good
he lost
to
about half a second there.
That's frustrating. Cannot break that 5-second distance between him and Malinin. Malinin 1.5 seconds behind with Pirello here still. Through the chicane they go, or yeah, through the corkscrew. 14 minutes. Needs to be a lot more pressure from that Koof car before the end of the race. Schlager's pretty much begging for it. I want to see it too. I want to see a 14-minute battle. That'd be great. Yeah, there you go. In the mirrors, the back there, we could see Schlager's car. There you go.
There you go.
Before the start-finish line, there's Schlager onto that main straight.
I can't see it happening though. Malinin just doesn't seem to have the consistency to get the gap closed.
Yeah, Pirello keeping it nice and tidy. 131.8 that last lap. Malinin 131.99, so it's nearly 32. And Schlager half a second faster than both of them, 31.5. You know, half a second a lap. Each lap is what, a minute? Let's do some really shitty math here.
It was low
13
30s,
divided
I
by
was
1.5, 8-ish laps, maybe 9 laps. So
Well, he's got a chance to catch up to them, but
that's 4 seconds. So if he's doing half a second a lap, he can just get to the rear of Malin by the end of the race. But that's it. That's just to get to the back of Malin. He needs to do half a second. He needs to do a whole lot faster than that to get past there. To get past Malin. Malin's just not putting enough pressure on Pirello. 2 seconds behind. Pirello, all he needs to do is just keep it clean. You know, even if Malin gets behind him, you know, he is the defending. He's defending, so it's a lot easier for him to maintain the position.
Yeah. I mean, even it's without trying to commentate this curse, Pirello's almost got this in the bag, because even if Schlager does get to Malin, it's going to take him a few corners to get past him anyway, and that's going to lose them both time.
It's going to be down to mistakes. But saying that, Pirello 32, Malin 31.8, Schlager 30.9.
Nice.
Schlager is pulling nearly a second a lap, almost 2 seconds. No, about a second. Yeah, sorry, I'm stupid. He's doing 1.1 seconds faster than Pirello. Malin could see that. He knows, he's watching his relatives. He sees that, 4 seconds, 3 seconds coming up behind him. He knows that the best defense is having a driver behind you fight the guy, right? The best defense is an overtake. Yeah. So he's probably
the best
going to
defense, just let someone else do it for you.
Exactly, right? So he's going to try to have to get the hurry up here. He sees that there's only like 11 minutes left in the race. It's going to be a 10-minute call out probably from crew chief.
Oh, Schlager's really pushing now. He's getting the back tail out a little bit too much when he's coming out of some of the slower corners.
It's good enough. It's good enough as long as he's doing a second a lap faster than everybody. He has it. There's still about 5 laps left here, and if he can get within striking distance, he can at least get the overtake on Malin. Any position is better than no position. And there we go. I think that's another fastest lap from Schlager. 0.02 of a second faster than his previous lap, but still the fastest man on track now, setting the fastest lap with 1:30.965 this time. He is just going. He's going as fast as he possibly can. He's got a fire in his pants. Malin doing a really good last sector here. He's putting the pressure up onto Pirello. Pirello also improving on his lap. They're all kind of setting their best laps now. The track has probably got a bit of evolution into it.
Lighter cars with warm tyres and rubbered in track.
Yeah. That's pretty good. Everyone improving on their times currently. Is just keeping it nice and tidy. A little bit of damage on the front of Pirello's car, but not enough to probably detract from his pace. Through the corkscrew they go. Pirello up nearly a quarter of a second in that middle sector. He knows there's the 10-minute marker. Pirello knows that it's time to put the pedal to the metal. He's put a gap to Malin behind 2 seconds. Comes tidily around the last corner there. Gets on the power nicely. Very nice. 0.3 up that lap. That's his personal best. That's a 31.225. Malin also sets not a set personal best, unfortunately, a 31.6. Schlager behind 31.2. He's not gaining as much as he can. He probably pushed a little too hard in the last couple of laps, so he's going to have to back off a bit. Nice and tidy through T1 there, T2. Let's go through the field and see if we can find anything else going on. Max P6 he got past Pisani a while back now. Been busy watching the battle up in front. Lewis still under pressure from Gorzelik, holding his own. Gorzelik right behind him, half a second. There's Trafilio and Enyon. Ewan. Oh my god, I can't believe I keep fucking that up. I'm sorry, buddy. I hope you have a giggle out of it. Pirello setting another personal best this court currently. As I say that, he kind of bleeds out through rainy curve there. Allen not doing too hot. Same with Schlager. They're still holding that kind of consistent pace. They're all within 3/10 of their best lap. Schlager now 2 seconds behind Malinen. There's 3 or 4 laps to go still. So Schlager putting still a lot of pressure on Malinen here. Malinen probably cooked his tires a little too hot. Or he's holding back. He knows that he may not be able to catch Pirello, but he can. Like if he pushes too hard, he might lose the place to Schlager. So maybe he's holding back a bit to be able to defend a bit. Go ahead.
Pirello's just about to hit some traffic here. I think it's... No, it's not Lewis.
Medina.
Yep.
Medina and Pashushka. Can we ride on board with 106? There you go, if you want to ride on board with 106. It's not really doing much. It's kind of driving by himself here. Does have a... It's currently setting a fastest lap.
.106 is bagging, so he's not had the best race, unfortunately. He's made a few mistakes, mostly of his own doing, from what I've seen.
Yeah. He's gonna get blue flagged here any moment for Lewis in the Korslik battle. Up into the corkscrew. Under the brakes. There we go, there's his blue flags. There we go, there we can see Lewis in the background. Baggins is gonna have to move over.
He needs to be very smart about where he chooses to do this. So it's not really that great of a place to pull over at the minute, unless he chooses to do it on the start finish straight, which would be the best place for him ideally. No. Can't tell if that was just some reflections or if he was getting flashed there.
It looked like maybe he was getting flashed.
Yeah,
He'll
he's
go
gone wide
around.
in T1 then, yeah.
Interesting place to do it, but fair enough.
Shall I go within half a second now? Alan's really falling back. I'll keep it on the helicopter cam. Backmarker getting involved. That Porsche is just so much better on the brakes going into the corners. Obviously going into the corners, you can on the brakes coming out of the corners, but you can see the difference between that and the McLaren.
Yeah, and that's it's getting really, really close to Malin here. Grello now has about 3 seconds gap between everyone else behind him. All he needs to do is keep it tidy. It's coming up to some back markers. There we go. There's Kerbal off into the... Yeah.
Mind games coming into a Schlager now, just making sure those headlights look nice and big in the wing mirrors of Malinen.
Yeah.
Oh, is he going for it? This is not a smart place to do it. Well done.
Yeah. He knows where the overtaking opportunities are.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm offering advice to the guys coming third when my highest position this season's been like 13th, so...
Yeah, I think Schlager won at Indy, I believe, so he's been doing pretty good. Oh, a bit on the curb there. That's not going to do very good
Yeah.
for this section here. And there's a spin up ahead. ACRL, I think, going into pits. Yeah, not on purpose. Oh, Schlager, great exit. He's right behind Malinin, within 2/10. Let's see if
He's
he
going to do it, it'll be here because that McLaren's got no top end.
right behind, looking out to the inside, huge dive. Can he get the car slowed down in time? No, he's gonna go a little bit wide. Oh no, Malinen's gonna have to keep in that position.
He could have made it work then, but if you saw the back end just started to wiggle out a little bit on braking, I think he might have locked a rear up.
Yeah, he was on that wet line, unfortunately, which isn't particularly great for any sort of traction, that's for sure. We've got 2.5 minutes left in the race. It should be about 2 laps to go. Coming to
He
the
just needs to be smart here. All he needs to do is make sure he's at a good position behind Malinin when he's coming out of the last corner.
Yeah, he needs to focus that exit, yeah, and he'll get it. But it's tough. It's tough to sight in that last corner, especially when there's a car in the front. Ooh, oh boy.
No. Around the outside at rainy curve in the rain is not how you want to do it. I think he's seen the red mist. All he needs to do now is make sure he gets a good run into this corner. And make sure he gets a good run out. And
Oh
he's
yeah.
laughing.
Oh yeah.
There we go. He's got him easy. Well done. I think we'll have 2 more laps.
2 more laps after this one, yeah, maybe. Yeah, it looks like because we got 1:40 here, so next lap will not be the last lap.
Oh, and he gets the switchback done.
He's gonna keep the inside for the next corner. That's enough for Schlager, but that's given Pirello quite a bit of an advantage. Pirello
5
looks
seconds, I believe I last saw. 5.1 seconds. There we go.
Yeah. Pirello just needs to keep it clean. He doesn't even need to set any new fastest laps or anything. He could bleed off almost, 2 seconds a lap here, and he'll be completely fine. Schlager may have the pace in the over a couple of laps, but it's just not going to be enough. Schlager just needs to keep it nice and tidy. He's made his way back into P2. Been a tough battle for him. He came out of pits 11 seconds behind with 40 minutes to go? Less than that? I think it was 30 minutes to go.
Yeah, it was just after the halfway point, I think.
Yeah, there you go. There we go. Messenger up into P10.
Barring no issues with his pit stop.
Leaders on final lap now.
Nguyen got past Trafilio at some point. It's good to see. Now he's going to have to try to get past Messenger. Messenger going to hold that P10. He wants that top 10 position.
Mex has just spun coming at the bottom of the corkscrew.
On his own? Any reason why?
Looks like it, yeah. And I think Pisani's just about to get past him.
My, that's frustrating. That's very frustrating.
No. Fair recovery drive though. Obviously he was what, third before he had that mistake, down to somewhat like 14th, 15th he was in. So 6th he can't be too angry with.
No. Anyway, so there we go. That's the last lap, I believe. Mex comes across the line, P7. Is the checkered flag out? No, it is not yet.
No, not yet, no.
So this
This is the last lap now.
So Messenger is gonna have to do one more lap, holding off Union. He doesn't have the checkered flag yet. He's gonna have to do one more lap. Oh no. Messenger driving very well up into P10. There we go, there's Pirello. There's a checkered flag. There's the win. Well done, Pirello. Schlager, P2. How far behind was he? I can't tell. Malinin, P3. Medina, P13. We go Petrushka, P17. Lop 4th. And the rest are still... Oh, they're just coming around now. Kerbal P18. Nils 14. Kunbi, P5. Pisani made his way past Mex into P6. Well done, Pisani. Very good drive. Lewis made his way past Mex. Mex having a really tough time. Of course, like up past Mex as well into P8. He lost a huge amount of time in that spin. Unbelievable. And Lewis up to P7. Lewis started qualifying very well, but having some sort of difficulties in the middle of the race, or early on in the race, and then right back. There we go. Lewis gonna take that checkered flag for 7th. Gorzik 8th. Max 9th. Who else do we have still driving here? Baggins still driving. Messenger still has to defend from Minion.
Yeah, I think he's managed to secure it here.
Oops.
I'm happy for the guy, but that means I've got some work to do for the next 2 races.
There we go. And they're getting the penalties for losing. They're losing their post-race penalties. That will be adjusted, I believe, later. Maybe, I don't know. Even with the 130-second penalty, he got 12th. But we'll see. We'll see what the whole shenanigans happens. I believe that might be some post-race on penalties, because that's kind of stupid on how that whole thing worked. Either way, he still finished P12, which is a great showing from Messenger. I'm getting messages on Discord. I wonder if someone wants to chat. 1 second.
I guess, yeah.
Does anybody want to do...
Trying to work out why I picked up a 130-second penalty, though.
Do you guys want to come in and do an interview?
Who?
Any of you? All of you? You can all do it.
I mean, yeah, we could all jump in if you want.
Yeah, let's do that then. So we're interviewing everybody. Huzzah!
Oh.
Anyways, Hugh...
Just to quickly jump in, it looks like Schlager's explained what happened. He's saying his ignition cut as he pressed the pit limiter coming out of the pits. That's why he stopped.
You know, honestly, I genuinely thought that was gonna happen. That's what happened. I didn't want to say anything, but I'm like, first thought I was like, I wonder if he bound the ignition button to like his pit limiter button.
I didn't buy it. I didn't bind it. It was just that seems to bug. On the pit entry, it was okay, and then at the pit exit, I just pressed the button, and it went off. And yeah, obviously, I have to stop to re-engage the ignition and start the car. So
Yeah.
that was cool.
But yeah, we did comment on how well you were driving there. You killed it on your lap times. You absolutely faster than
Yeah.
anybody else on the track. And you were
It should have been a win.
Oh, absolutely. It really should have. And I think everybody knows that it should have. But unfortunately, you had the difficulty. Regarding Hugh, it looks like that some people have had some issues, like a bug that they weren't able to change tires. So like Seuss and ACRL had some issues with that like that. I think a few other people like Kerbal, ACRL, Cabrera, they all had issues. Very much the
Yeah,
same.
I mean, it told me it changed my tires.
But yeah, like, and we were watching and we saw that you didn't have the little green marker to say that you came into pits. So I think there's been a bug somewhere.
Okay, I'll take a look, because I definitely pitted, I definitely changed tires.
Yeah. So
100%.
So I think that's be something for the moderators to talk about. From the commentary booth, I didn't see anybody get any advantage from that, but we did see a few people get those issues. So it might be worth like looking into that later.
I do know when I went to go into the pits, it had defaulted to not having any tires selected. I had to manually assign those, so I don't know if maybe that's what some people were seeing. I mean, Hugh's thing definitely is a bit odd.
Yeah, I mean, I had new tires on, but I could feel the tires were totally different when I came out of the pits. So I never changed them.
Yeah, and same for my stop, and I didn't get any. Although I didn't get the weird not counting the stop thing.
Yeah.
I'll go through and probably just remove. I'll check my replay and look at the other people that got that penalty, see what happened for them in the pits. But if it looks like it, and I absolutely know that I pitted, and I know I changed tires. I watched the dudes run around the car.
Yeah, so it might be some sort of bug then. But yeah, I wanted to comment on how well you did. P10 before this bullshit penalty. Well done, you. Especially considering you did an endurance race yesterday. So, kudos to you that you're able to, do 2 races back to back, and especially one so difficult.
I'm gonna butcher his name. Win. Is that?
Oh, Nguyen? Nguyen?
Yeah, Win.
Yeah, Nguyen. It's like
what's his name in Discord? I always forget.
I think it's the same thing.
No.
Okay.
No, is it?
No?
I don't think so.
But that spiced up the end of the race. He was catching me at a second a lap, but I was like, hey, this is Laguna. I can keep somebody behind me for a few laps.
Yeah.
It's not just at Laguna, you can do that either way.
Yeah.
You're a very defensive driver. It's very annoying as a first party recipient of it.
Yes, I may not be fast, but I'm wide.
Well, I was saying during the race as well, it's not even the fact that you can keep. Obviously, a lot of it is your driving, but you're aided by the car in the fact that it's got so much top end. All you've got to do is make sure your car is slap bang in the middle of the apex, and then put your foot down, and you're gone.
Yeah, and I always, whatever setup work I do and practice I do, is to make sure I get a good jump out of the critical corners. On any given track, there's usually only 2, maybe 3 corners. Like here, you've got to get out of the last turn. So I just make sure I've got a nice compliant back end. I can get the power down. Here I was actually reducing traction control coming up on the final turn so that I could get a little bit more. And,
How did you find it coming out of the corners with reduced traction? Because you saw a lot of the mistakes that people made here were of their own volition, putting the pedal down too hard coming out of corners.
Yep. I know, I think my naturally kind of cautious driving style just lends itself to wet weather. I always do better in the wet than I do in the dry.
Wet is fun.
Oh yeah, we got Pisani here. Pasi here, sorry, not Pisani. Pasi here as well.
Yeah,
Congratulations on another podium. Well done
Thank
to
you.
you.
Pazzi! Bird! Well
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, second podium in a row.
I
Yeah.
heard Pierre had issues, right? His ignition cut?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Man, you were just killing it in the wet.
Dude, I had some issues, but like right before my pit stop, I lost it at the exit of, what is it, 1, 2, 3, turn 4. When you go over the curb, when your car is like in a, like kind of drift,
Yeah.
you go over the curb and the car falls off the curb, you instantly go into a spin. So I got like 12 seconds of damage there, which would have been fine, because I still had a 9-second gap.
Oh, so if
But-
you had either no damage
Yeah.
or if you didn't have the ignition cut, you would have probably retained the lead there. That's brutal,
Yeah, I would
man.
have easily retained.
easily.
Oh.
Pierre was something like 20 seconds in front of me before
But the only
pits.
the only thing that screwed me was the ignition cutout.
Yeah.
Which cost me like 5 or 6 seconds.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
that's what we were confused. That explains it, because we were saying, I caught your ignition cut, and we were like, that only cost you a couple of seconds. But you went
Yeah.
before the pits, you were like 10 seconds ahead, and then you came out 14 seconds behind. We were like, something else has happened, because you didn't even come to a full stop with the ignition cut, did you?
No.
So
Yeah. I guess I could have made it without the ignition cut. I still had like I would have been 3 seconds behind P1 coming out of the pits, but I was 10 seconds behind.
Yeah.
So
You were 10 seconds behind P3. That was the worst bit. It wasn't even
yeah, I mean,
P2. it was...
P1 was still pitting, so I was relatively like in P3 when the guy in P1 pitted.
Yeah.
But I still had to made up like 12 seconds to the leader and 10 seconds to Pazzi. And at Pazzi I managed, but I lost time battling to him, so I couldn't go for P1.
Yeah, and Pirello was doing a really good job keeping his lap
Yeah,
times
he
up.
was doing steady laps, so yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
was
he
that
did
when-
steady laps. I couldn't even. He was doing a tenth or two faster than me at all times. Not much, but just enough to keep it on 1.5, 1.9 second gap.
Yeah, you were having a few laps where you would catch him up, and you would be like within 1.5 seconds, and then your either your tires would come off a cliff.
You do
or-
something small, then you lose the gap, and then focus more, and the grip levels. Corner entries were really strange at times. You had traction at times, then you didn't have traction at times. Then you miss the apex, and then you lose a 10th there, and that's it. And I just thought I'll just stick with Pirello. Then I saw Pierre 2 seconds behind, and I thought this is gonna be tight. He's way faster, and he's got a Porsche, so he can get out of the exits much better.
Yeah, and
he did.
Yeah, Pete and I were both saying that. Hey, yeah, as soon as Pierre gets behind him on that main straight, it's all Pierre's game at that point. So.
Yeah, there's no way I could. I tried to get a good exit, but no, it didn't work.
Yeah.
I did a few cuts on him. He went a bit too wide on T1.
Yeah.
Or is it T2?
T2.
I was hoping that I could do it again and again and again, but no. I was too slow. I was maybe half a second at least slower than you. Nearly second. I was doing 32s, 30 high 31s, and you were doing what, 30 something.
I did a couple of 30.9s in the end there.
Yeah, you had set 2 consecutive laps that were 0.02 of a second off of each other. That was pretty good, and they were both fastest laps. So it was just like solid,
my fast
solid
fast.
fast. Yeah. Well, those two laps at the end, those 2:30.9s, they were within 0.02 of a second of each other, back to back. So that was fun to watch. I remember watching that section, and it was great.
I think my very last lap was a 30.4 or something.
Oh wow, really?
Did everybody get through turn 1, by the way? Because I promised everybody an official ACRL merit badge if we all got through turn 1 alive.
So is the kink turn 1, or is turn 1 the downhill left-hander?
Turn 2, we'll call it. Yeah.
Okay. So turn 2, yes, everyone got past turn 2 fine. Turn 1, the kink, there was some drama up there. So.
Well, even after I told everybody in the driver's briefing to be really careful about the king.
Yeah.
I caught it on the replay. There was basically, it was on the, not back marker, someone towards the rear just decided that the kink wasn't there and kept going straight and tagged somebody and sent them round.
Yeah, it was...
Somebody nearly signed one. Was it me and Pierre that somebody came out of pits? Or was it me and Pirello? He went too wide on pit exit.
I can remember something, so probably you and Pirello.
Yeah. It was a
Huge.
close one. You see it. I got a wide monitor. I saw the car on the left coming to the sand, and I thought it's gonna hit, but it didn't.
Yeah. But I'm gonna go do the final little spiel here, so I'll go into the next room. You guys can keep chatting. So yeah, be back in a quick
I need
moment.
to go check my replay. I did have an incident with somebody, and I'm gonna have to watch the replay and maybe self-report. Don't know.
Was that with Rob or?
It was
No,
with Medeiros, I think.
Yeah.
Is he
I didn't
the
see
black
any actual hits or incidents at that, but
He went way right wide in turn 2. I got up alongside him, and I got a feeling I may not have left it. I kind of forgot how much that curb kind of cuts in.
We caught it on the stream, and it was 50-50 because you pinched him a little bit tight, but when he came back round, I don't think he realised you were alongside him.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I'd left him enough room, and then when there was contact, I was like, well, crap, maybe I didn't. So
No, it was definitely tight. It was
for a while,
tight, but you left it was tight, but you left the space. I just don't think he realised how far. Not like you weren't really far over, but I don't think he realised you were in the middle of the track, and he just tried to come back onto normal line, and we chalked it as a racing incident.
Yeah.
But obviously.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go watch it, and if I think it was my fault,
Yeah.
I'll report myself.
blue flags were a bit dodgy at times. That was the first 10 lap when we caught the first blue flags. Pierre gained something like 4 seconds on blue flags alone. That's just if you guys just drove in front and didn't do a move.
Yeah, I can confirm. I had some issues with blue flags in the beginning as well.
Yeah.
I mean, let's.
Well, anyways, that is it for our season 6 5th race of this 6th season. I didn't have to say that weird. That is it for the 5th race of our Season 6 of ACC. This is ACRL. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching the replays. And one thing to note, we'll probably be uploading these on the ACRL YouTube channel, as Twitch is deleting streams after, I think, 2 weeks of being uploaded. So if you... well, I guess if you're watching this, then you're probably watching it on YouTube. And if you're not watching it on YouTube, whatever. If you want to find clips or whatever, it'll be on YouTube eventually. So just check that out. I think it's just ACRL YouTube, or on YouTube, just search ACRL and it should be fine. You should find it there. For those who are still watching even after this, we are a volunteer league only. All proceeds go to running the servers, running, back-end stuff. Like, we have a website, we have to rent the servers for AC and ACC. If you want to join us for AC, we are doing currently a DTM championship, and after that we'll do some other sort of probably open wheel or vintage racing if you're into that sort of thing. Otherwise, we'll still be doing ACC races as well. That's probably going to be happening for forever now because we are a Assetto Corsa Racing League. We are doing a ACC, so join us next time. I don't know where we're driving next week, but we'll find out. Not next week, in 2 weeks. You'll find out in 2 weeks where we're racing. You can always just check us out on our Discord. Which, thinking of that, I can just look at that myself. Next week in 2 weeks, October 9th, it will be Watkins Glen, and then after that, Suzuka for the finale. I don't know what the championships are looking like. The results should be up here already. Season 6, let's take a peek here. Here we go. We can look at the championship standings here. So the championship standings currently is FXX Power, which is, I think, one of the... I don't think he's racing with us currently. Schlager in P2. So currently, with the drops in place, Schlager is currently winning in P2. I don't think they haven't updated the latest things. So Mamalukas and FXX Power, 1st and 4th. Tom's, I believe that is... Actually, I have no idea. I don't know who any of these people are. Sake Lepo, Kortzelik, I know that. Shmi's still P8, but he wasn't driving this week, so... Either way, whatever. I'm rambling. It's the end of the day. It's time for you guys to all just... stop watching the stream. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Have yourself a good Sunday or Monday morning and have a good week, and I'll talk to you guys later.